Did you know that under Captain Ibrahim Traoré's leadership, Burkina Faso's military morale has soared to unprecedented heights this year? It's no exaggeration to say that his bold decisions have reshaped the way soldiers approach their missions. From equipping the army with cutting-edge mine-resistant vehicles to forging new international partnerships, Traoré has shown the kind of decisive action that not only inspires his fighters, but also gives them the tools they need to win. This isn't just about military upgrades. It's about a leader transforming the mindset of an entire nation. And he has a New Year gift for the soldiers. And what is it? Here, we would like to take a moment and thank you for supporting us and being a member of our strong community. Let's get started. On December 23, 2024, in Ouagadougou, the capital of Burkina Faso, soldiers were lined up, decked out in full uniform, their eyes fixed on a line of brand new mine-resistant vehicles. These machines aren't just any military trucks, they're monsters built to withstand explosions, navigate rough terrain, and carry troops safely through some of the most dangerous areas in the world. Now, at the center of it all, is Captain Ibrahim Traoré. He's young, just 36, but he carries himself with the kind of confidence that makes people stop and listen. He steps forward, hands over the keys to the vehicles, and just like that, a wave of energy sweeps through the crowd. It's not just pride, it's something deeper.
Je vous remets officiellement donc les clés de ces engins logistiques et de combat. Prenez ça comme un cadeau de fin d'année donc du peuple à son armée et intensifiez la guerre comme il est attendu.
You see, this isn't just a ceremony. For years, Burkina Faso's army has been fighting with one hand tied behind its back. Old equipment, limited resources, and constant threats have made their jobs nearly impossible. And these vehicles? They're more than just tools. They're a promise. A promise that things are finally going to change. This moment doesn't come out of nowhere. It's the result of years of frustration, planning, and a growing realization that if something didn't change, the country might never recover. But what exactly makes these vehicles such a big deal? Why is everyone treating them like game changers? Let's break it down. Imagine a road, just an ordinary, dusty road winding through the Sahel region. Now imagine that road is lined with invisible killers, landmines and IEDs, buried just beneath the surface, waiting for their next victim. This isn't just a scary thought, it's the daily reality for soldiers in Burkina Faso. For years, the army has been patrolling these roads in old, unarmored vehicles. These were the kind of trucks that couldn't stop a small rock from denting their frame, let alone an explosion. Every time soldiers stepped into one, they knew they were gambling with their lives. And it wasn't just the soldiers who suffered. Civilians couldn't travel safely, villages were cut off from supplies, and entire regions were left vulnerable to insurgent groups. Now these mine-resistant vehicles? They're a whole different story. First off, they're built to survive the kind of attacks that used to devastate patrols. Their advanced armor and V-shaped hulls deflect the force of explosions outward, keeping the soldiers inside safe. But these vehicles don't just protect, they empower. With these machines, soldiers can finally move freely. They can patrol areas they used to avoid, deliver supplies to once unreachable places, and respond to emergencies without hesitation. And the psychological boost? It's huge. For an army that's been on the defensive for so long, these vehicles represent a chance to fight back. But hold on, what exactly makes these vehicles so special? These vehicles aren't just your average military trucks. They're like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. Sleek, powerful, and almost indestructible. Let's start with their biggest selling point, the V-shaped hull. This design is genius. When a landmine explodes under the vehicle, the shape of the hull deflects the energy outward, away from the soldiers inside. Instead of the blast ripping through the floor and causing catastrophic damage, it's absorbed and redirected. That alone makes these vehicles lifesavers. But wait, there's more. These machines are built tough, with heavy-duty armor that can handle just about anything. Bullets? No problem. Harsh terrain? Bring it on. Whether it's rocky trails, muddy paths, or scorching desert roads, these vehicles are designed to handle it all without breaking a sweat. And then there's the tech. These vehicles come equipped with advanced communication systems that keep soldiers connected even in the most remote areas. Imagine coordinating a mission in real time, knowing you've got the tools to stay one step ahead of the enemy. That's what these vehicles bring to the table. And let's not forget the space. They're roomy enough to carry entire squads, turning them into mobile command centers during missions. Soldiers aren't just protected, they're prepared. Now here's the question. How did Burkina Faso get their hands on these incredible machines? Who stepped up to help when the country needed it most? Here's a reminder to please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black culture, history, civilization, and identity. Let's continue now. Let us tell you something surprising. Burkina Faso didn't go knocking on the doors of Western powers like the US or France for these vehicles. Nope. Instead, they turned to allies who've proven they can deliver. China and Egypt. These two nations played a massive role in making this happen. First, there's China, known for its cutting-edge manufacturing and ability to produce high-quality equipment at scale. China provided much of the materials and expertise needed to build these vehicles. But this wasn't just a business deal, it was a partnership. China recognized the urgency of Burkina Faso's situation and stepped up when it mattered most. Then there's Egypt. With its long history of military innovation, Egypt brought invaluable experience to the table. They worked closely with Burkina Faso to customize these vehicles for the specific challenges of the Sahel region. From handling extreme heat to navigating rough terrain, these vehicles were tailored to perfection. This partnership says a lot about Burkina Faso's changing strategy. Captain Traoré isn't interested in waiting for Western aid that comes with strings attached. Instead, he's building relationships with nations that respect Burkina Faso's sovereignty. It's a bold move and one that's already paying off. But now that these vehicles are in the hands of Burkina Faso soldiers, the real question is, how are they going to use them? For that, imagine you're a soldier in Burkina Faso. For years, every mission has felt like a gamble. You step into an old truck knowing it won't protect you if something goes wrong. You head out on patrol, constantly scanning the road for signs of danger. It's exhausting, it's terrifying, and it's been the norm. Until now. These new vehicles are a total game changer. First and foremost, they're safe. Soldiers can move through dangerous areas without constantly fearing for their lives. And this isn't just about avoiding landmines. These vehicles are tough enough to withstand gunfire, rough terrain, and pretty much anything else the Sahel can throw at them. But the benefits don't stop there. With these vehicles, soldiers can respond to emergencies faster, deliver supplies more efficiently, and patrol areas that were previously off limits. Missions that used to feel impossible are now just another day on the job. And let's talk about morale. For an army that's been under-equipped and overworked, these vehicles are a symbol of hope. They tell soldiers, we've got your back. And that kind of support? It's priceless. The ripple effect is huge. Soldiers fight harder when they know they're protected. Communities feel safer when they see these vehicles rolling through their streets. And the message to the insurgents? Burkina Faso is done playing defense. But why did Traoré think it was important to have these vehicles? Leadership isn't about flashy speeches or empty promises. It's about showing up, taking action, and making the tough calls. And Traoré? He's proving he's a leader who does exactly that. Think about it. At just 36 years old, Traoré has stepped into one of the most challenging roles in the world. His country is under constant attack. The resources are stretched thin, and the international community hasn't exactly been rushing to help. But instead of waiting around or making excuses, Traoré has taken matters into his own hands. This delivery of mine-resistant vehicles isn't just a military upgrade, it's a statement. To his soldiers it says, I see you, I value you, and I'm giving you what you need to succeed. To the people of Burkina Faso it says, your safety is my top priority. And to the world, it says, Burkina Faso is no one's pawn. We're standing on our own 2 feet. Traoré's approach is pragmatic, bold, and unapologetic. He's not interested in maintaining the status quo. Instead, he's looking for real solutions. Whether that means forging new alliances with countries like China and Egypt, or investing in the kind of equipment that can turn the tide in the fight against insurgency. But here's the thing. Leadership isn't just about making one good decision. It's about building momentum, keeping your people inspired, and staying focused on the long game. And with these vehicles now in play, the question is, can this move truly change the course of Burkina Faso's fight against insurgency? Insurgency isn't just about explosions and violence. It's about fear, control, and breaking the will of a people. For years, militant groups in Burkina Faso have used these tactics to great effect, turning roads into death traps, isolating entire communities, and making even the smallest acts of resistance feel impossible.
Shifting focus to Burkina Faso, the West African nation continues to reel under Islamist insurgency that has claimed thousands of lives. In the latest, the Al-Qaeda-affiliated group, the JNIM, has claimed responsibility for an attack that killed up to 200 people and injured at least 140 others in central Burkina Faso. The attack took place on Saturday in the region of Barshalogo, which is about 40 kilometers north of the strategic town of Kaya. It's home to the last standing force protecting Burkina Faso's capital. As per reports, fighters opened fire on the teams of young people who were helping the soldiers dig trenches designed to protect security outposts. Several soldiers are reportedly missing after the attack.
But these new vehicles, they're flipping the script. First, they're giving the army something it hasn't had in a long time: mobility. Soldiers can now move freely through areas that were once considered too dangerous. Supply lines can be re-established, reinforcements can arrive on time, and the army can take back control of regions that were slipping away. Second, these vehicles are boosting morale, not just for the soldiers, but for the entire nation. When people see these powerful machines rolling through their towns, they're reminded that their government is fighting for them. It's a visual symbol of strength, resilience, and progress. And let's not forget the message this sends to the insurgents. For years, they've been able to operate with relative impunity, knowing that the army lacked the tools to stop them. But now, they're facing an enemy that's better equipped, better prepared, and more determined than ever. Of course, none of this happens overnight. This fight will take time, resources, and unwavering commitment. But with these vehicles in play, Burkina Faso has something it hasn't had in a while: momentum. But what about the soldiers who are on the front lines, risking their lives every day? How are they reacting to this shift? For years, soldiers have been fighting a battle that feels stacked against them. The equipment is outdated, the risks are sky high, and every mission feels like a gamble. Now suddenly, they are handed the keys to a vehicle that can withstand explosions, navigate the toughest terrain, and protect their entire squad. How would they feel? For many soldiers, these mine-resistant vehicles are nothing short of a lifeline. They're not just tools, they're symbols of respect and recognition. After years of feeling like their sacrifices went unnoticed, soldiers are finally seeing their government invest in their safety and success. But it's not just about protection. These vehicles give soldiers the confidence to do their jobs more effectively. They can patrol high-risk areas without constantly looking over their shoulders. They can respond to emergencies faster, knowing they have the tools to get the job done. And they can focus on their mission instead of worrying about whether their vehicle will make it through the day. The emotional impact is huge. Soldiers who once felt isolated and unsupported now feel empowered and valued. And that shift in mindset? It's contagious. When the troops are motivated, their performance improves. And when their performance improves, the entire country feels the ripple effects. But it's not just the soldiers who are feeling the impact of this moment. What about the people of Burkina Faso? The families, the communities, the civilians who've been living in fear for so long? For the citizens of Burkina Faso, this isn't just a military win, it's a national moment. For years, they've watched as their country struggled to fend off relentless attacks from insurgent groups. They've seen roads become no-go zones, villages cut off from help, and loved ones lost to violence. So when these mine-resistant vehicles rolled into town, it wasn't just a sign of progress, it was a sign of hope. Imagine living in a community that's been under constant threat. You see these massive armored vehicles rolling down your street, and suddenly, things feel different. You feel safer. You feel like someone is finally paying attention, and you start to believe that maybe, just maybe, the future can be better than the past. This isn't just about the physical presence of the vehicles, it's about what they represent. They show that the government is taking action, that the military is being equipped to fight back, and that the country is no longer content to sit on the sidelines. And let's not underestimate the psychological impact of this moment. When people feel like their leaders are investing in their safety, it builds trust. It strengthens the bond between the government and its citizens. And it creates a sense of unity that's desperately needed in times of crisis. But as powerful as this moment is, it's just the beginning. The road ahead is long, and there's still a lot of work to be done. So, what's next for Burkina Faso? Let's wrap this up with a look at the future. Here's the thing about turning points. They're only as good as what comes next. And for Burkina Faso, this delivery of mine-resistant vehicles is just the first step in a much larger journey. Captain Traoré has made it clear that he's committed to protecting his people and taking the fight to the insurgency. But this is just the beginning. The army will need more resources, more training, and more support to sustain the momentum they've built.
В значительной степени тот уровень благосостояния, который достигнут в бывших колониальных державах, он основан на ограблении Африки. Это всем известно хорошо. Да, собственно, исследователи в той же самой Европе этого и не скрывают. Так и есть. Они говорят, на горе и страданиях африканских народов построено в значительной степени, не говорю целиком и полностью, нет, но в значительной степени благополучие колониальных держав. Это очевидный факт. Ограбление, работорговля, конечно.
At the same time, the government will need to double down on its efforts to address the root causes of insurgency. That means investing in education, creating jobs, and building infrastructure that connects communities and fosters stability. And let's not forget about the partnerships that made this moment possible. Burkina Faso's collaboration with China and Egypt has shown that non-Western alliances can deliver real results. Moving forward, these relationships will be crucial in helping the country secure the resources it needs to succeed. Even leaders like Putin are stressing about moving away from colonial powers. The road ahead won't be easy. There will be setbacks, challenges, and moments of doubt. But one thing is clear. Burkina Faso is no longer content to be a victim of its circumstances. With strong leadership, strategic partnerships, and a determined military, the country is ready to take control of its future. This is just the beginning. And if Captain Traoré's bold actions are anything to go by, the best is yet to come. Do you think Traoré will change Burkina Faso forever? Can anyone stop the changes? Let us know in the comments section if the West can find a way to stop the change happening in Burkina Faso. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If so, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We have decided to bring videos on something nobody talks about: the Black culture, civilization, history, and evidence about how glorious Blacks have been. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.